Today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how my client Melly went from 224 pounds to 155 pounds within a year and some change. I'm going to show you also how she feels more comfortable in her body. She has more confidence in herself. She has massive amount of energy, and she only worked out 3 to 4 workouts per week. And she was able to go out with her friends and eat the foods that she liked. She didn't have to deprive herself, and she was able to attend a lot of social events where a lot of people, when they're on a weight loss journey, they don't want to go because oftentimes they're thinking, man, how am I gonna go if this doesn't fit around my meal plan? And you may be saying, Edgar, it's impossible to lose 20, 30 pounds while doing all that stuff. Just 3 to 4 workouts per week and being able to eat what you like doesn't make sense. If you don't know me by now, my name is Edgar Mayalo. I've been certified since 2010 by IFPA, International Fitness Professionals Association. My specialty is fat loss, and I help busy professional Latinos that are stuck, that are at high risk for diabetes, and not seeing results in their weight loss journey. I don't just help you to lose weight and reverse health conditions, but I also build a new mindset, new lifestyle, and I help you to keep that weight off for good. But just so we don't waste our time, I do want to let you know up front that I am looking for just busy professional Latinos that are eager, that are humble, that are willing to take the advice that I give them. They're hungry for change, and they're allowing room for themselves to grow, and they're not stubborn in their ways thinking they know it all. They're tired of putting this part of their life on hold, and they're determined to get to their weight loss goal. There's no plan B because family is important, and they want to be here for the long run for their family, and they want to honor God with their body. So if you're not a busy professional Latino, or you are, but you're lazy, you're not open-minded, and you have a mindset of disbelief, and you're always questioning things, and you like to make excuses and not stay accountable for your actions, you can go ahead and just click off this video, because I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want my time to be wasted. But if this does sound like you, take out a piece of pen and a paper and get ready to take some notes, because I'm going to reveal the secrets that got a lot of my clients to lose at least 30 to 40 pounds, and I'm not holding anything back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through anything you need to know. So let's start now. So if you want a proven method to be plugged in to your busy schedule that's going to be efficient and enjoyable, so you can still have your cheat meals and not have to spend countless hours in the gym, but spend that time doing the things you love to do. Finally, stay consistent. And as a result, you'll feel good. You'll reduce inflammation in your body, which a lot of people suffer with inflammation in their body because of the foods they eat. You're gonna have boundless energy. Energy is so important, especially for your job, for your career. Improve confidence and contentment. Contentment is key, because you can have all the money in the world, but you're still not content where you're at. So it's super important to be content. And then also reverse and lower the risk of various pre-health conditions. How much is your health worth? And ultimately, guys, be the absolute best version of yourself and conquer in your purpose of life. Or we'll refund you in full, no questions asked. Meaning, if you don't lose at least 15 pounds while getting tone and reducing inflammation in your body and developing new levels of confidence in the first 90 days, you don't pay a single cent. If you were to join the Homebody Wellness Coaching Program today, here's a screenshot of the agreement you would sign. And as you can see, it is in writing. So if you were to reach week 12 of this program without losing at least 15 pounds, we'll refund your investment in full, provided the following conditions are met. So 75% compliant when it comes to abiding the nutrition guidelines and following the meal plan at least 75% of the time. And also 90% compliant when it comes to checking in on your workouts on PT Hub, which comes with the Elite Homebody coaching program. Check-in forms completed every week. We'll be doing a 15-minute Zoom call to make sure that we are completing those Zoom calls because those are vitally important. Guys, this is my way of showing you that I will help you get the results, but if you're not implementing the plan that I've given you, I cannot guarantee that you're gonna lose the weight. And we offer this guarantee because that's how confident we are that we're gonna get you to your dream body no matter where you're at. And honestly, we only want to keep your money if you're 100% satisfied and you're getting the results that you're after. If we do issue you a refund, you get to keep all the blueprints, the workout plan, the nutrition plan, all the workouts on the app. You have all the access. You get to keep it all. So if you look at Melly's story, she's been through it all, man. She tried every single diet. At one point, she even got down to 80 pounds by just doing a keto diet. But because the mindset was not right, she rebounded and got up to a weight about 225. See, she was 40 to 50 pounds overweight. She was at high risk for health conditions. High blood pressure ran in her family, so a lot of family members were passing away from genetic diseases. She didn't have any motivation. She didn't have any energy to work out. So she was very on and off. So she would start something, but then she would stop. So she didn't have the commitment. She didn't have the drive to follow through. Then she was often eating out of stress. So she dealt with a lot of stress, and food was her go-to. It was her escape. So often she would eat out of boredom. And as a Latina, you know, we get taught by our parents and our culture, right? That you know, just go ahead and don't eat anything. But that's the wrong way to think, right? So there wasn't really a game plan for Melly when she started off. She felt like she was spinning her wheels, just getting information from here and there, all contradictory theories, and it led her with no results. And she was following these boring, restrictive diets, keto, carb cycling, you name it, she did it, intermittent fasting, and none of them were working for her. And if they did, they were not sustainable. When I first talked to her, she told me, you know what, Edgar, I feel like I've done everything and nothing's working. Until she decided to try out the program for herself. I did hours of research so that you don't have to, and I studied the science behind fat loss and mindset training. This led to Melly getting sustainable results, and she didn't have to feel like a dieting robot. She was able to eat the foods that she liked and enjoy the company with her friends, not have to worry about like, oh, I have to take my meal prep to the restaurant. And then it finally clicked for her. Well, here's how it's going for Melly after doing the program for about a year. So she was able to go from 224 pounds to 155 pounds, 64 pounds in just over 11 months or so. And one of the things that she wanted to do was she wanted to be able to wear a swimsuit and feel comfortable in her own skin and be comfortable with her body. And now you can see she's wearing shorts. She's rocking it out. And she's not afraid of what other people think about her. And that's the most important thing. She is content with her body, and she's not she doesn't care about what people think. So she has confidence through the roof. She accomplished this, guys, with only 4 hours per week, usually 4 to 5 lifts, and she had the energy. She would do a little bit more. So it was just dependent on where she was at with her energy, but for the most part, she felt energized, and she was able to do all the workouts based off of her goals. And she was able to get to her goal in January 2022, but right now she's still maintaining that weight. So that's the most important key, guys, is that she's able to sustain those results because of all the lean muscles that she put on. So her metabolism now is at its highest, and she didn't have to do any diet restrictions, especially because she liked to travel a lot, and she liked to have social. She liked to attend social events with her friends. So sometimes there would be some, some good food. Sometimes you want to eat some enchiladas. You already know the foods that we like. Now she has boundless amounts of energy. She always wakes up feeling like $1,000,000, and the most important thing is that she feels healthy. She doesn't have that fear of man, what if I develop these diseases that have been in my family for generations. No, she's conquering that because she's learned how to eat better. She has confidence levels off the chart. So whenever she walks in the room, she has her head held up high. She does not care what other people think. And ultimately, guys, Melly is walking around in her dream body. And the most important thing is that she's content with herself, and she's content with her body. Melly and many other clients like herself were able to do that all because of a few key principles that I taught them. So at the time of training Melly, I was working 4 years plus at LA Fitness, but then I decided to branch off on my own and start my own online fitness business, 5 More Active LLC. And I decided to create the Elite Homebody Transformation Coaching Program so that I can help other professional Latinos like Melly get the same results as well. So I also have a certification by IFPA, International Fitness Professional Association, and I'm currently an advanced personal training certificate. I'm also certified as an athletic nutrition specialist and certified MMA, strength and conditioning, and flexibility and conditioning. But guys, the reason I do what I do is I want people to experience the same results Melly and many of my other clients experienced. Without the countless hours of research, without the trial and error, and without the pain and discontentment of not seeing results. Basically, guys, I just want to give you the cheat code that I've discovered over the years of training. And right now you're probably saying, Edgar, this will never work for me. It's great that it worked for you, but I don't think it's going to work for me. But let me tell you why this is not true. So if we go back to Melly, the client that I was talking about, who lost over 60 pounds in just under a year and gained more confidence in her body, she was hesitant about a program like this too. She is a busy professional Latina working 10 plus hours at time. And she was wondering, how the heck am I going to balance my already busy schedule with my relationship with my boyfriend and have time to work out? Not only work out, but also develop the skills, the mindset, the time, the energy to learn. It was basically a new language. Like learning how to work out, learning how to eat is basically like learning a new language. But we were able to get her through that. And because of that, she was able to accomplish her fat loss goals and get that massive transformation that you saw earlier in the slides. As you can see in the slide, you can see that she has a large amount of fat in the midsection, But after the program, you can see how she transformed her midsection and her arms. That's one thing that she wanted to work on a lot, because genetically her family had bigger arms. So she was able to get the results that she wanted. So as you can see on the graph, she started off at 226, and as you can see, it was a steady loss of weight. And not only that, but she got to the point to where she got to 155 pounds, but more importantly, she's able to keep it off. And what's remarkable about this, guys, is that she was able to not only have social events and eat what she wanted, but also travel, because that's one of the biggest things, the biggest factors why people give up. But not only that, but she was also working 8+ hours a day, and she was able to eat her favorite foods like Wingstop, but she was still able to get these amazing results. Or my client Rosa, that lost 97 pounds in just over a year and a half. She told me when she started, this is the heaviest I've ever been. I just been having a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety. So she kind of let herself go, but it didn't matter. I was able to really walk her through her mindset and able to walk her through the nutrition and the workouts to get her down to under 200 pounds. She was a giant killer that started getting compliments from her coworkers, telling her, "Man, you've lost so much weight." And her husband even said, "Wow, I can finally like hug you. I can finally put my hands around you." And that's pretty crazy though, that like her husband wasn't able. And she was finally able to fit in a shirt that she hasn't even worn in 2 years. She felt awesome putting on the shirt. And not only did she lose inches in her belly, but she also lost it in her arms. That was her main focus, was her arms too. All of this was achieved while having a work-intensive job. And she was a director of a school district. She was battling depression and anxiety. And at the same time, she was having issues, family issues at home, that for most people, if you're having issues, you're not really focused on your fitness and your body. But she was able to break through that. So I know most people, what they're thinking, well, I don't even have time to work out. I'm busy with this and that. But that's a lie, because everybody has 24 hours in their day. The problem is that they're not properly managing their time effectively to fit in their workouts and their nutrition in their busy lifestyle. That's where my expertise comes into play. So something else I want to point out is, at first, Rosa's husband was a little bit skeptical about working with an online fitness coach. He would tell him, well, why don't you just work in person with someone? He thought it was way too expensive, but now that Rosa's getting all these great results and he sees the work I'm putting into her, so now he's thinking like, man, why isn't Edgar charging more for this? So he was able to see the value in this online program. Or let's take a look at Carlos, for example. He started at 224, and when he started, he had a bad Achilles, so he had some pain in his shoulder. Didn't really have a set game plan for his nutrition. His nutrition was all over the place, and he didn't really find time to work out. He felt a little bit unmotivated because he wasn't seeing consistent results, because he was working a 8-hour job, and the fact that his job, he walks a lot. So the fact that he wasn't getting results, even though he was getting steps in, clearly shows that there was a problem with the nutrition and the mindset. If you can look at the graph, he's losing consistently about 5 to 6 pounds every month. So he's still going. And just like the other clients, all of this was achieved by just working out 3 to 4 hours per week. And he was able to not only be able to watch his favorite football games, but also have a drink on the weekend or two. And he didn't have to sacrifice his social life with his wife. He was able to enjoy life and at the same time, learn how to lose fat and keep it off. And if that's not enough to convince you, here are just a few more transformations. Take, for example, Christina. When she started the program, she was overweight. She felt sluggish. She had no energy. She had no confidence in her body. She was very insecure about putting on shorts. And you can see she lost an insane amount of inches in her midsection. She lost about 40 to 50 pounds since starting the program. Michelle, she lost inches also all over her body. She cleared out her skin. She doesn't have inflammation in her body. She feels great. She feels more energized. And when she was starting her program, she was very strict with her calories. She just had a lot of anxiety about, following the meal plans. But here at the Elite Homebody, we taught her the right way to think. So we taught her how to not become outcome dependent, but to become more process oriented. And you can see not only is she getting results, but she has a clear mind, and she's able to know exactly when she's getting to that point where it's getting a little bit obsessive. So that's what we work on. We work a lot on the mindset. At the end of this video, I will show you the exact 3-step process that got me to maintain my shape even at 36 years old, to keep my metabolism high, and how it got many of my clients to get in the best shape of their life, have the dream body, have confidence in themselves, and more importantly, to be able to sustain those results. So why did it work for them? They realized they don't have the time to spend 3+ hours in the gym, and doing their own research brought so much confusion, and it wasted hours of time where they could have been spending it with their family. They were overwhelmed by conflicting information, and as a result, there was no real game plan for them. So my clients decided to work with me because they were sick and tired of another year without any results, because they didn't know what to do. They were done spinning their wheels and not seeing results in their weight loss. They wanted a proven method to fit in their busy lifestyle, to not only lose weight, but to finally keep it off. They knew they could achieve more by doing less. The only thing they needed was the right system in place for their busy lifestyle. So they looked for skilled guidance on how to train effectively and skillfully. And not only that, but they wanted to know how to structure a proper nutrition plan where they didn't have to be super strict. They don't have to be robots, but they can enjoy the foods that they like and still lose weight. And we wanted to find out how we can structure and manage their time into their busy lifestyle to be able to work out and be able to eat the right foods at the right time. And ultimately, have the freedom to enjoy vacations and have a social life. Here at the Elite Homebody, our objective is simple. We want you to eliminate the guesswork and save you time, hours and hours of research. We help you to develop a breakthrough mentality where you master consistency and you're able to get to your dream body and reverse health conditions. And as a result, you'll feel better, you'll look better, you'll have boundless amount of energy, you'll have confidence through the roof, and have massive amounts of productivity. And more importantly, you will live up to your greatest potential in mind, body, and spirit. Now, if this was all you needed to hear, and you're thinking, Edgar, I know for sure this works. I just need to follow this proven system that is fun, efficient, and I know that it's gonna fit in my busy lifestyle so that I can finally get the results that I've been trying to for years. And you're saying, I know this system has worked for your clients and I know that it's gonna work for me. Then click the link below this video. Let's book a free strategy session and let's talk about it. And no, this is not some high pressure sales call to get you to join. If you don't get results at the end of the day, I have to give you a full refund. And the reality is, guys, that 95% of professional Latinos never get in the best shape of their life, things never change, or they even get worse. The stats here are unbelievable. 85% of people who are obese will lose weight at some point in their life, but within a year, 4 out of 5 people will unfortunately get back to their pre-diet weight. If that's not bad enough, within 2 years, that percentage goes up to 85%. And within 3 years, that number goes up to 95%. So, meaning that there's only about 5% success rate. That's horrible. And furthermore, 33% of those people end up going over their pre-diet weight. So I'm gonna go off on a limb, guys, and I'm gonna say that we don't not have a weight loss problem, but we have a mindset and a dopamine dependency problem. So with that being said, we gotta ask ourselves, so why do diets fail miserably? So many people are not aware of this concept that 90% of weight loss is dependent on nutrition and 10% is training. And let me highlight why with an example. Let's say after a long day of work, your body is just calling out the hot Cheetos. They're there on the counter and you say, you know what, I've had a long day of work. I'm just gonna eat one bowl of hot Cheetos. And you say to yourself, well, I'm gonna do some cardio right after, so I'll be able to burn them off. You eat a whole bowl of hot Cheetos, which comes out to about 480 calories. And then you go on the treadmill and for like an hour and you only burn about 350 calories. So as you can see, the math doesn't add up. You can't out-train a bad meal plan. Some additional reasons might be diets are not enjoyable and they're not sustainable. There's a lack of knowledge. So often nutrition feels like a second language. Another reason is there's no support or accountability. So people go off a limb and they don't even know what's happening. They don't know what they're eating. Another thing that I see very commonly is that people are jacking up their metabolism from doing these extreme diets. So after a while, your body goes into what's called a fight or flight. And ultimately, guys, people are dependent on their pleasure signals in their body. So sometimes foods that they're craving, they're not necessarily the best for them. So that's why that excessive weight gain comes into play, because they can't control those dopamine signals. And for all those reasons, people are set up in what's called a failure-driven cycle. So what most often happens is they enter into this fad diet. It's very restrictive. Sometimes no sugar, no carbs. So often that causes that deviation and can cause some of that weight to be lost, which as a result, the pleasure signal of your body releases dopamine and you feel good and you're like, man, this is gonna work. But because the body often compensates if an extreme action is applied, like for example, cutting carbs completely, the body will compensate. And what's gonna happen is your metabolism starts to slow down. So that's the next phase. As metabolism starts to slow down and feelings of failure, like the thinking, man, this is not gonna work. We start to lose motivation. So we're not as motivated as in the stage 1 of the failure-driven cycle. So after progress completely stops, what happens is the defense mechanisms in your mind start to kick in. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna quit on my own terms. I'm gonna self-sabotage, because if I self-sabotage, in reality, it doesn't mean that I failed. It means that I didn't even try. So then they completely stop doing the meal plan. And now they're dependent on those pleasure signals and their dopamine, and hence the cycle starts. They start to binge eat because they restricted those calories, restricted those carbs, and now they're starting to really like pick it up. And then they give up completely. That mindset of I'm a failure kicks in, and then they go into this mode where they're eating whatever they want. And then gets to the point where, either they go on summer vacation and they see that everybody's fit, and then they're like, okay, I want to lose weight. I want to do this. And then the cycle goes on and on and on. And the pattern is never disrupted because there's a self-sabotaging mindset in the brain that keeps happening. So that's why they're continually on this cycle and they never get to the result. They'll get a little bit of results and go and the same thing will happen. So we want to break that. So let's look at an alternative. So instead of dieting, let's call this muscle metabolic building. So you can eat more food while seeing consistent, predictable results. And these results are for the long run. You get to keep these results for the rest of your life. You don't have to go back on the rebound. You go back to your original weight or even more. You keep them. You're focused on getting stronger in the gym. Therefore, you're building more lean muscle. So now your body starts work for you instead of against you. And you start consuming the right amount of calories and the right amount of nutrients to fuel your workouts. Instead of going on this huge calorie deficit that's gonna tweak your metabolism, it's gonna slow it down. Now you're focusing on eating the right nutrients at the right time. And then at the same time, you're building habits, you're building consistency. There's flexibility in your meal plans, so you're not starving yourself, you're not limiting the carbs, you're all lethargic. No, you eat the right amount of calories, the right amount of carbs, the right amount of protein, the right amount of fats. That's gonna get you to your goal, but also sustain those results. Another common failure cycle that Latinos tend to dive into is trying weight loss on their own. So this is where the overload of information comes in. Someone that's beginning on their weight loss journey sees all this information. We call it the shiny object syndrome. And then there's so many conflicting information on the internet, like don't eat carbs because carbs are bad. They tend to make you gain weight, but they're not telling you that it's a source of energy. If used right, you can use it to fuel your protein. As a result, diet and a workout plan are all over the place, and usually they're relying on their own motivation, which is fleeing. So it's only temporary. When doing this, it's likely that you're not gonna get any results, or at least you're not gonna get sustainable results. So then what happens is the feelings of doubt start to kick in. You start to tell yourself, man, is this really for me? Can I really lose weight? And maybe you push through for just a little bit, but eventually fatigue and burnout kick in. And then what happens is the self-sabotaging habits start to activate. And as a result, you go back to square one where you started, because you're no longer following a diet. You don't trust the diet. You're going back to square one. At this point, stress levels are high. You're unmotivated. You're unhappy. There's no confidence. And at the same time, you lose focus on your purpose of why you're here. I want to let you know, this is not your fault. The fitness industry and Latino culture has convinced you that you need to work out 6 days a week, 2-hour sessions. You gotta eat boring meals or not eat at all. Eat no bread, just eat salads, when that simply is not true. So I wanna propose a better, more sustainable way. Introducing the Atomic Habits method. So this is the same method we use in the Elite Homebody Transformation program. And we got this name because whether it be weight loss or anything worthwhile, it takes small wins to get to a big goal. Small wins turn into massive wins. Hence the name Atomic Habits. So our mission here at the Elite Homebody is to inspire 2,000 professional, busy Latinos to unlock their full potential in mind, body, and spirit by transforming their mindset in their physical well-being as well as their mental well-being. So let's take a look at what that looks like and see what a success-driven cycle looks like. And now you're gonna have a clear roadmap to get to your goal. There's gonna be flexibility in your diet, flexibility in your training, no more working out 6 days a week, 2 hours per day. You can get results in as little as 3 workouts per week, 3 hours a week. Can you imagine? Man, how much time you're gonna be able to spend with your family and still see great results. Inside of this program, you're gonna have food freedom. So you're gonna be able to eat the foods that you like and still see the scale drop. You're gonna be able to travel and enjoy life, be with your friends, and not have to like put all these hours into cardio, hours and hours of cardio, hours and hours of workouts. You're gonna eat what you like. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy going to the gym. And I feel this a lot. Like a lot of people don't enjoy going to the gym, but you're gonna enjoy it. Inside of this program, you're gonna see lasting results, which is the key to everything. I don't want you to get down to your goal weight and then have to rebound once you're off of that diet. No, you're gonna have sustainable results. You're gonna develop bulletproof habits. Habits like brushing your teeth. You don't just think about brushing your teeth, you have to think about it. No, it's already a habit. That's the same thing with working out and nutrition. Your progress is going to be very reliable. And like I mentioned before, you're going to love going to the gym because you're going to love how you feel when you work out. So that's the most important thing. You're going to have that confidence. And instead of being unmotivated, just no confidence, you're going to have boundless energy. You're going to have confidence in yourself. You're going to feel secure with your body. You're going to be operating in your full potential. Your stress levels are going to go down. You're going to be able to operate in what you were called to do. So that is priceless. So after talking to 100 of professional Latinos, I would have to take a fair guess that this is where you're currently at right now. Your health is not the greatest, or worse, you're at high risk for various health conditions such as diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, and even you have joint issues. You're battling anxiety, stress, depression. You're even missing out on activities with your kids because you're out of breath and you can't keep up with them. Your energy is probably at the floor. You wake up lethargic. You wake up with this brain fog. You're probably insecure with your body, especially with your spouse. Sometimes you feel like you can't be open with your spouse because there's so much insecurity in your body. Pretty much every time that you wake up and you look at yourself in the mirror, you're not okay with what you see in the mirror. You tell yourself, man, you know what? I can do better than that. Because you're not eating well, there's probably inflammation in your body, which is causing a lot of health concerns to happen. And whenever there's events where you got to put on your bathing suit, you're not okay with that. Usually you can't wear a bathing suit because you're not okay with your body. And ultimately, you're frustrated from not seeing results. And out of all these struggles, the most important part is your health. If you don't take care of your health right now, it's going to have a dramatic effect on your life expectancy in the future, especially if you're married. You won't be able to spend that much time with your kids. I mean, if you work out, it helps you live 10 more years of your life. How much is those 10 years worth being more with your family? How much is it worth to spend more time with your grandchildren? And this is where you're at currently. But you want to love what you see in the mirror. You want to love yourself. You want to feel healthy and free from health concerns. You don't want that in the back of your mind. You want boundless energy. There's no need to take 500 milligrams of caffeine when you have this natural energy because you're eating the right foods and you're eating the right way. Your metabolism is working the way it should be working. You want to be able to put on that old dress that used to fit in, right? When you were leaner, when you were younger, but you can get to that point. You can get to those sizes, those lean sizes of you. And ultimately your confidence goes over and above. And as a result, your confidence just goes up to the roof, man. You're content. You're not insecure. You're able to go into a room and just feel content with your body. You're able to express yourself and not feel closed off. Your quality of life dramatically improves. You're able to be content and play with your kids. You don't feel low energy. You're like, dang, oh man, they want to play with me. I feel guilty. No, you're able to play with them, and you enjoy it. You enjoy that. Furthermore, you're living in your God-given purpose. So therefore, there's no anxiety, there's no stress, there's no depression, because you know that if people don't live out of a place of purpose, that's when depression, anxiety, all these things come in, because you're not living outwardly, you're living too much in the inward. And as we saw earlier, guys, trying it on your own, doing these fad diets, even hiring an in-person personal trainer has not getting you the result that you've been striving for years. You're still in the same place. You want to get to your dream outcome, but you don't know how to. If you knew how to, you wouldn't be watching this video. That's exactly where the atomic habits comes into play. This method will take you from your starting point to your dream outcome. And you might be thinking, how are you going to be doing all that? And that's a great question. Let's take a deeper look on how Atomic Methods actually works, which is solid groundwork, reconstructing the dream body, and atomic accountability. So let's go through each of them in more detail. So the first pillar is solid groundwork. And the reason why I named that is because we need to get this in check in order to move forward in our weight loss journey. And under this pillar, we have 3 sub-pillars. The first one being community. So we're not meant to do life alone. So yes, you're gonna be working with me one-on-one, but you're also gonna be plugged into a private Facebook community with like-minded Latino professionals like yourself, brothers and sisters, and you're gonna be met with different messages of encouragement. There's gonna be recipes in there. They're basically, this community is to keep us intact, to keep more accountability, because at the end of the day, there's other people that have similar situations like yourself, and they're going through kind of like the same obstacles. But if we come as one whole in unity, we can really conquer this weight loss all together. So ultimately, it's just a place for us to hang out, and it's a supportive community. Any questions that you might have, just throw them in there. There's gonna be lots of hacks, lots of helpful tips for weight loss. Just basically nothing but value in there. The next sub-pillar is mindset. Probably the most crucial part of this program. I took inspiration out of the Bible, and one of the verses that really stood out to me is, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So we will be incorporating thought replacement work, and we're gonna get valuable insight on common triggers that occur whenever you're trying to get to your goal. These common triggers are getting in the way from us losing the weight. So that's what we're going to be tackling. We're going to be incorporating a lot of psychology, a lot of deep work to get you from point A to point B. As we both know, that if the mindset is not good, following a nutrition plan or a workout plan will be nearly impossible, because the mind is first before the action. You have to have a thought first before you take action. So you have to have good thoughts, good strongholds, good mindsets in order to take the positive action for you to lose weight. So again, we're going to be identifying limiting beliefs that are stopping you from getting to your dream body, getting to your weight loss goal before doing anything in this program. And the last sub-pillar of solid groundwork is habits. So we have 2 different types of habits. We have good habits, and then we have bad habits. So what we want to do is we want to identify the bad habits, like drinking alcohol, staying up late, self-sabotaging whenever you go on vacation. And what we want to do is we want to start replacing them with good habits. And this is a process. It takes some time to do. And once the good habits are in place, then our weight loss goals are sustainable. So meaning you're not gonna have that rebound rate that what we were talking about, where you get to your goal weight and you're there, but then a year later you gain all that weight back, or even worse, you gain even more weight. That's not what we want for you. We want you to keep these results, because remember, the skills, the education, everything that we're giving you, we want you to be able to use it for the rest of your life. We don't just want you to get to your weight loss, but we want you to be able to keep it off. So those are the 3 sub pillars that we have for the solid groundwork pillar. So once we have these in check, let's move to the second pillar, which is reconstructing the dream body pillar. So this one will also have 3 sub pillars. The first pillar is training. Of course, any workout plan that is centered around weight loss will need to have an efficient, customizable training program based off of your schedule, your goals. So that's my job. Is I want to give you the best workout plan, and I focus a lot on home body workouts, but if you need to get a gym workout, I can definitely prescribe you that. Because as you know, you can have the greatest workout plan, which is like 6 times a week. It's centered around your splits where you're hitting every single different muscle. But if you don't have the time to work out and you're super busy, are you gonna do the workout? Probably not. So my goal is to get you a customizable workout program based off of your schedule. So that's why it's so important to have customizable workouts, because then we're not going to be led to failure. We're going to succeed. You have to like the exercise. You have to like the workout. There's certain exercises or certain systems that you like, so why not customize it for your taste, right? Because we're in it for the long haul. We want these workouts to be sustainable. I want you to be like, Edgar, I'm looking forward to this workout. I can't wait to work out. I don't want you to be like, oh, you know what? Here's a workout, man. I don't even want to do it anymore. But no, I want you to be excited about your workout. So once we design a customizable workout with the exercise that you like based off of your schedule, we're going to input it into the PT Hub app. So on that app, you're going to be able to see exactly what exercises to do, how many sets, how many reps, time to rest, and it's going to be customizable notes. So it's very straightforward, very user-friendly, and this right here is going to be probably the most important part of the workout. So the next sub pillar, which is the most important part of this program, because as you know, 90% of your results will be nutrition. So what I like to call is the formula. So I want to teach you the nutrition part, like the foods you need to eat, the calories that you need to have in order to lose weight. But also, I want to inform you that you don't have to be like a robot, strict and eating certain foods. Like I can't go out and eat out. No, that's not the case. I want to teach you how to keep your calories at your threshold where you're burning fat and you're building muscle, and at the same time you have enough energy to do all the things with your kids, and it's just great. And if you're unfamiliar on how to track calories, know your protein in grams, carbs, fats, don't worry. I'm going to give you a straightforward, easy to understand way of thinking of nutrition, because essentially you are what you eat, right? So I want to be able to customize a nutrition plan based off of your likes, what kind of foods you like, and also you want to have your cheat meals, right? So I want to teach you that you don't have to be super strict where you're not losing weight. You can still lose weight and eat your favorite foods, or that pizza, Papa John's in moderation and still see the scale come down. So the most important thing is I want to educate that. I want to educate you on that. So the analogy that I like to give when it comes to tracking calories, tracking your macros is, let's say, for example, a friend goes up to you and he says, you know what, I'm having trouble with my finances. What should I do? Well, the first thing that you would say is set up a budget. So where is your income level and where are your expenses? Are your expenses exceeding your income level? It's the same way when it comes to nutrition. Think of tracking your calories as setting a daily budget. Your daily calorie target is your daily budget for the day. You can spend it however you want. Let's say, for instance, a friend says, you know what, it's Friday, let's go get some pizza. Well, that day you would be spending 500 calories of your daily budget on that. And just to make this clear, this is not a license to eat whatever you want. You obviously have to focus more on whole foods and eat your cheat meals in moderation. But more importantly, you want to be eating whole foods and foods rich in nutrients, as opposed to just eating like cheeseburgers and cheesecake and all that other stuff. But when it comes to calories, if your calories are under your maintenance, the science says that you will lose weight. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna teach you how to see food as fuel, to know the timing of when to eat certain foods to optimize muscle growth. Muscle growth equals less fat. Now, in my app, there's a built-in nutrition tracker. So whenever you input some food, guess what? I get to see it on my end, and then I can give you feedback so that way the results are more accurate, better. You're getting better results because I'm able to coach you through that nutrition process. The last sub pillar is education. So I want you to know why I'm giving you a certain meal plan. I want you to know why I'm giving you a certain workout. I want this to be a one-stop shop. Like, no longer will you need a trainer. You're gonna know exactly what to do. You're gonna know exactly how your body works, how the metabolism keeps speeding up. I just want you to get results that are long lasting. Essentially, I just want you to keep that weight off for the rest of your life. And the last pillar, which is probably the meat and potatoes of your results, is accountability. And this one has two sub pillars. The first one is weekly check-ins. And what I mean by that is I send out check-in forms 2 times a week, Monday and Thursday. And basically it takes like 30 seconds to 1 minute. It includes different questions like stress levels, sleep schedule, nutrition, hydration, workouts. We dive really deep. I give you a call for that, and we're able to really examine just all the areas when it comes to your fat loss journey. And the last sub pillar is optimization. One thing's for sure is that while you're on your weight loss journey, both of us can agree 100% that there's something is gonna come up in your life that is gonna try to stop your weight loss journey. Whether it be a life event, something happened in the family, whether you go on vacation, maybe you get super busy at work, right? And you kind of fall off, those old habits start to pop up. I want you to know that, think of me as your coach in your corner, like you're in a boxing match. And I'm there in your corner. I will be with you there through the whole process. And more importantly, have an objective view. Sometimes we need an objective view, an eagle eye, to really be able to track those obstacles that try to pop up in your life. My job is to make sure that I make those either nutrition or training adjustments in your schedule so that you can keep seeing the scale go down. So that's very important, because optimization, that's why a lot of people quit, because they don't understand in what season they're in or what phase they're in their weight loss journey. You have a 2-point check-in with me, but know that that's not enough. I'm gonna give you a call every week, right? We're gonna be talking, and at the same time, we're gonna have 24 hours, 7 days a week, text messaging support from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. My response rate is usually really quick, or 15 minutes to 20 minutes, depending if I'm with the client. So when we optimize, we're tracking all the essential variables that are getting you to your weight loss journey. So if something might be off, it's like I said, again, I'm the coach and I track that, and we work together as a team, and then we can continue to see lasting results. That not only are you going to get results now, but you're going to be able to keep them for the long term. Now, I know that was a lot of information, but I went ahead and made a summary slide of the whole program. So feel free to pause it, take a look at it. I do want to point out that over here on the top left, it's talking about the training pillar. On the bottom left, we're talking about the nutrition pillar. On the top right, we're talking about the online course and what would you get from that. And finally, on the bottom right, we're talking about the weekly check-ins and the data optimization. So hopefully, after going through the Atomic Habits method, you can really see everything that you would get, and you would see how valuable this method truly is. But let's do some math. Here are the costs of taking action the traditional way. So let's say you were to hire a personal trainer. So roughly right now, a session is about $60 per session. And you're probably gonna get around 2 sessions per week, which comes out to 8 sessions per month. So monthly, you're looking at $480, and yearly would be $5,760. Also, we'll probably need a dietitian because, as we mentioned earlier, 90% of fat loss results is nutrition. You'll probably see them once a week, and every session with the nutritionist is about $100 an hour. So you're looking around $400 a month, which comes out to $4,800 a year. And if you want the same level of accountability as you get here on the Elite Homebody program, you're going to need to hire a life coach on top of a PT, on top of a nutritionist. A life coach is going to run you about $120 per session. And you're going to get 1 session per week, 4 sessions, which is going to run you about $480 a month, which is equivalent to $5,760 a year. And you also want to factor in eating out. And you're going to spend a minimum of $20 every time you eat out. And roughly you eat out like 1 to 2 times per week. So that would come out to $160 per month. Yearly, $1,920 per year. Now, if we totaled all those services up, it would come out to about $1,400 per month, which is equivalent to about $17,280 per year to do, quote unquote, the traditional way of taking action. Now, that's the cost of taking action, but I wanted to also calculate the cost of not taking action or inaction. How much would that cost you? So I went online and took a look at the average cost for obesity or cardiovascular disease. Also looked at some other diseases like diabetes, high blood pressure, and I was just trying to look at the average cost. Obesity alone cost about $1,000 per month, or an average about $12K per year. Cardiovascular disease was about $1,600 per month, or about $19K per year. And if you are suffering from these conditions, it's likely that your life insurance premiums are gonna be more than likely $50 more than the average person, which is about $600 per year. And if we are looking even further into the future and you're suffering from your health condition now, you have a lack of mobility, you're out of breath whenever you do everyday chores because you're overweight, it's likely that you're gonna go into assisted living, which is probably gonna run you about $3,000 per month, which is equivalent to $36,000 per year. And that's just 1 year. Now, if we total that up, the total cost of not taking action, it would come out to about $5,768 per month, which is equivalent to $68,000 per year for not taking action. I don't know about you, but that's a lot of money that you're wasting by not taking action. And that doesn't include other additional costs that are likely to occur. So you have things like prescription medication, mobility aids such as canes, walkers, physical therapy, which costs thousands of dollars per month. You have sometimes doctor visits that you need to, not only you're wasting time, but you're spending money. Sometimes it gets even worse where you have to go to the hospital, so hospitalization. How much does that cost you? And then supplements that you have to take to really compensate for the lack of health. So if we total the cost of the previous slide of taking action the traditional way and this one of taking non-action, the grand total would be about $85,000 per year. But to illustrate this point, let's say I was going to sell you a Ferrari for $5,000. If you had that money, you would give it to me in an instant because you see the value. And even if you didn't have that money, you would bend over backwards to try to figure out how to get that money. You would probably figure out ways like getting a credit card or taking out a loan. You would try to find a way to really get that money to pay off the Ferrari. Whatever way you would come up with, you would do it immediately because you see the value in that $5,000 Ferrari, right? You know that you can buy it for $5,000, but as a business person, you'll probably turn around and sell it for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, my program is not $5,000, but here's my question for you. If you're willing to do that for a Ferrari, why are you not willing to do that for your health? Your health is worth way more than a fancy car. Now, to build even more trust with you, I'm gonna show you even more results from clients inside this program. Let's take a look at Christina. She was overweight, she was on the obesity level, but the moment we started working with her meal plan, seeing food not as comfort, but as fuel. And, it's one of the 2 days a week, you're going to have moderations, you're going to have cheat meals, but we were able to really change that mindset and really focus on building muscle, strength training, building lean muscle. And as a result, you can see her results. You can see her midsection. You can see her arms getting a little bit more toned. Just from those 5 to 6 months, she was able to lose 40 to 50 pounds. That's an incredible amount of weight. But that was not just, it was not just the program, but it's the fact that we taught that mindset and she had the confidence to follow through. And that's the most important thing, is that we give you the map, but at the end of the day, you have to put in the work. And just a side note, I want to mention that she was ridiculously busy with her schedule, with her job. So if she was able to do it, you can do it too. Because this girl was working 8, often sometimes 10 hours per day, 6 days a week, and she managed to lose that weight. So there's no excuses, guys. Sorry, guys, you can hear the baby in the background, but I love her. She is my drive. So I just kind of want to say that side note there. Another thing that I'm not mentioning is that a lot of my clients were suffering from pre-diagnosed health conditions. So some of them had high blood pressure, some of them had pre-diabetes. And just so you know, the meal plan and the working out was able to reverse those health conditions. So they're able to have more energy. So not only are they losing weight, but they're getting healthier for the long run. And I think that is the key. When you have to look at the future, you have to see yourself playing with your kids, right? You want to be playing with you want to have energy, you want to be there for the family vacations. But if you don't have the health, you don't have the strength in your bones and your joints, it's going to be very hard for you to keep up with your family. So that's my goal. My goal is for longevity. I want you guys to just enjoy your life for the long run. So if this sounds interesting to you and you're a busy professional Latino and you finally want to take action and get into the best shape of your life, then click on the link below this video and book a free strategy session on Zoom with me. But I do want to warn you and say, do not book a call if you're not ready for an incredible transformation. If you just want to sit around and chat, if you're the type to really think about things instead of taking action, if you're not going to implement any of the advice that I'm going to give you on this program, or if you're someone that wants to waste their time and still trying to do it on their own, if you still think a Ferrari is still more valuable than your health, if you're not open-minded or humble in spirit. Again, if you don't see the results that you're looking for, you do not pay a thing. Meaning, if you don't lose at least 15 pounds while putting on lean muscle, developing incredible confidence in the first 90 days, you don't pay anything. And at this point, there's only really 3 options that you could follow. Number 1, join the Elite Homebody program and life is awesome. Option 2, join the Elite Homebody transformation program and you don't get the result that you were looking for. Option 3 would be doing nothing at all. Now, only one of these 3 guarantees you don't get the result that you're looking for. And that is option 3. Of course, if you do nothing at all, you're not going to reach your weight loss goal. And since I have a money back guarantee, that eliminates option number 2. So the only reasonable best solution is option number 1. Join the Elite Homebody Transformation Program, and if you don't get the result you're looking for, you don't pay. But you're gonna get the result and life is going to be good. And if you made it this far, I just wanted to tell you thank you for your time. In today's culture, that is so valuable. And thank you again. If you haven't booked a call yet, remember, just go ahead, go back to the link below this video and book your appointment. You can reach me also at Instagram. You can reach me at YouTube, on my email. Feel free to reach out to me, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you, guys.